Welcome to today's broadcast. You got Dean and Rob. We're not going to do this one as a huddle, but we released out some new stuff. So, Dean, it's been a while since you and I recorded a video together. It's almost been 2 months. The summer's been crazy.
It has been.
We've had all kinds of stuff in development. We've had new stuff come out. And probably the biggest thing I'm excited about is not only the Google Business Profile Boost, but also our done-for-you plan. So I wanted to get you on, be able to talk about the new plans and just go over the changes and what we're doing and what we're seeing, because I think, for one, search is still changing. And I think there's going to be a bunch of stuff coming up this fall for how search is changing, but how we're doing things is kind of changing out too. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that. And I think a lot of the business owners that we work with, the members that we work with, are seeing the same thing, because they're having a hard time keeping up with some of these changes. And that's why we started the done for you concept, is because people are not finding the time to do all the research and staying up with some things. And were you seeing the same? Those people I talked to, that's what they were seeing.
Yeah.
We're motivated to go that way.
Well, we had a couple different things that kind of happened out in the market, which one of those things is how search is being handled. So
Right.
when we started putting programs together, we have our tools. You can still use our tools. We have the listings engine, and we have Google Business Profile Boost, which will have some services into it because we do your posts and everything for you inside of that. And then we also have the AI SEO Pixel, which the AI SEO Pixel is where we will do all of your SEO on your website if you don't bring it over to us. The done for you plan is a big piece that brings all of our tools together, but also to where we're doing everything for you. So we're going to do your social media posts. We're going to do your blogs. We are going to take your raw content and we are going to put it out there. So what that means is we've developed a form and an app, basically, to where they can record directly from, they can record a video directly from their cell phone using that form. They can do it from their computer. They can upload a video that they have recorded on their phone or they've recorded on their computer, and they can put out details of what they've done. So if you follow any of our blueprints and if you've been following any of our channel, one of the biggest things I've been really preaching big time is to create that content. So talk about the jobs that you're doing, talk about the problems you're solving, showcase what you've done for work. You can do all of that now, and you can even do just an audio recording inside of there, and that brings that content over to us. And with the done for you, what we're going to do with that content is we'll create your social media from it. We'll create your blogs. We'll have it updated on your website. We'll bring everything together, because when you talk about everything as a whole in an ecosystem, and what a lot of people don't get, and that is very much more needed now than it was even 6 months ago, is that ecosystem of that tree that we talk about all the time. You have that listings down to the bottom for the listings engine. You have your website. Then you have your canopy at the top. We have to connect everything together inside of that ecosystem. Does that make sense?
It absolutely does. And what everybody needs to understand is the reason why we've asked for the recordings or the voice recordings, whatever, it creates that original content that's unique to your business. So that way our team can take it and really market your information, put the content out there that really follows your voice and where you really want to go. Because there's a lot of things that are out there that are generated based on, the AI piece has gotten to the point where it's all starting to sound the same out there. You and I read a lot of that stuff, and we see a lot of it, and we're starting to, the other day we had something submitted to us. I said, "Oh, it sounds like this was made by this AI engine," and we were right, with that comment. And that's why we want the original content. And that's why business owners have to really understand that we need that original content from them. And it's kind of scary at first. I'll be the first one to admit it, because you have a hard time getting me in front of the camera. But once you get talking about things, but I know my business. I mean, my other business, I can talk about it all day long, just like anybody that might be a roofer or a plumber or an accountant, whatever. They can talk about their business better than we can talk about their business. And that's why we need that. And I think that form has been a huge piece when our team came up with that idea. And you and I talked about it. We really went, that's really what we need to have from the small business owners to make this really successful for them.
Well, you don't necessarily have to do the video piece too. You can also just start with the audio piece. So yes, the video can be very intimidating for that piece, but you can also start with just the audio piece and be able to talk about it. And when we were doing the test out for our test clients to be able to, our test members to figure out how we were going to set this up, it was one of those things to where we have a lot of different people inside of there that started off doing the transcripts of just putting in their voice and talking about it. And then they switched over to video and
Right.
they're getting killer results from that.
Right.
And I mean, with the done for you plan, you're able to submit that information over. And what kind of information do you want to submit? If you are a contractor, you're going to talk about the job that you just bidded. You're going to talk about the project you just did. You're going to provide photos of those projects. That allows us to use your real information and not a bunch of fake stuff. Because everybody, I think, inside of the world right now is over how much fake stuff is out there. And AI has made it easier to generate fake things all the time. And with the done for you plan, we are using AI inside of there. So I don't want anybody to think we're not using AI,
Right. Right.
but we engineer that AI to work for you. So with that done for you, you're going to get your whole ecosystem taken care of. You're going to get your website 100% custom designed by us. And that's up to 10 pages inside of there at the time of recording this video. You're going to get your social media done. And by the way, that website comes with the hosting. It comes with everything you need, and it comes with unlimited changes. So the design, everything you need, the hosting, the security, every little aspect of it is going to be inside of there. And you own what we designed there. So you can always take it and move it off. You just have to add the plugins and all the different stuff that we pay for inside of there. So there's no hidden fees or any of that stuff on that side. And then you're going to have your social media done for you. You're going to have your blogs wrote for you and basic video editing inside of there, which means we will take that video, we'll put it out on social media if you want us to from the form. And that way it's inside of your blogs. And so you're doing some of that video stuff. So yes, that would get out to YouTube as well if you have a YouTube channel. If not, we'll help you create it. Now, one of the biggest things that we heard inside of that I want to kind of comment on is a lot of people get really hung up on what to have for my descriptions, what to have all that inside of the listings engine. This really brings it into where your coach is going to go through and put all that in. We can send it over to you for approvals if you want it for approvals. If you just want us to go and do what we do best, you're going to get that.
Right. And I think you just hit a key point too, because we've had a few members say, I want to have final say.
Yep.
What goes out. We allow that. And you may get to the point where I don't want to deal with it. You guys are right, spot on. We've had a couple of people, you're spot on. I don't want to see it anymore. I'm too busy doing other things. Let me grow my business. So you can start out to make sure that if you want to have more control, you can. And some people, we have one person they want control for everything and you can't, and that's their prerogative. That's okay. We work with that individual as well.
Yep, they can log into the back end of WordPress. We taught them how to go through and do that inside of the social media suite, which comes with the done for you plan. They can go through and approve each of the different posts that go out. They can do all of those different pieces inside of there, or we can just go for it and do it. And one big piece from my owning of agencies since 2008, one of my big things that I've heard is, I want to do it on my own, but I want you to get me my starting point. So we built it into this after you and I had hours worth of conversations on this. We built it into where once you've had this for 90 days to really, for us to be able to get everything set up, make sure everything's working for you. It could be 90 days. It could be 6 months. It depends on your business and where you're starting from, but we require at least 90 days in. You can switch over to where you get access to the tools. We still host your website and do unlimited changes. So you're not doing all the tech stuff, and we'll support you along the way. We just don't have it to where you have the form inside of there to submit the raw information and convert that over. So you can do all of that on your own. So if you have staff or anything, you can really bump that up, save some money if that's what you're looking for as well.
Right. And the other thing too, we've had some seasonal people too that say they want to give it a try during their off season a little bit. And that's okay. I mean, it's not that hard. It just takes time. It just takes time.
It takes time. And once we have that stuff set up, you got to remember when we set up killer content inside of the social media suite, we're going to set it up to where it repeats itself every so often, not like every day or anything, but over a certain set of weeks. You won't lose that when you move over. So anything we pre-set up for you, it's going to be inside of there. Just give you that boost to be able to get set up and ready to rock and roll.
Exactly.
And
I think that's really important for people to understand that killer content comes from the videos and the audios that are people giving us as well. So
It does. And I would say probably for that piece is it gives you the starting point. You can always bounce back and forth, but really the done for you is going to connect everything together. It's going to bring all that new technology in. It's going to be setting up all the different systems. And we've seen, I hate to say it, we've seen great results from that whole entire piece of us doing it because I've talked to a lot of the people that were inside of our test pieces that were using other agencies or had somebody else doing their website. They weren't doing everything they were supposed to. Even on just the AI SEO pixel, we see that as well because a lot of the agencies sell, oh, we do SEO. They load a program like Rank Math or whatever WordPress plugin. They fill out the information and they call that SEO. There's so much more that's involved in that side that we're able to look at and be able to tweak. Having that AI SEO pixel on any of our sites that we do, or even if you add it to your site, if you're just using that tool, it's going to give you such a bigger piece in there because it's constantly, it's kind of like the Google Business Profile Boost. I would say it and AI SEO Pixel together really kind of make that big difference because what it's going to do is it's going to look at active search. It knows what people are searching for. It has access to those databases. It's like having a 24-hour, 7 days a week SEO person analyzing and looking at your website and bringing up ideas with a marketing coach that's able to translate that information over to something that's usable.
And the other thing we need to talk about too, Rob, is you were talking about using the Google Boost and the AI Pixel is the fact that things are changing. What we were doing 4 months ago is a little different than what we're doing now. And our team is staying on top of that. And we're doing the research. We're watching the algorithm. We're watching all this stuff that's happening with your business and how you're ranking and what your competition is doing. All that is a part of that we do on the backside.
Yep.
And everybody needs to understand that you may take it over and you may stop seeing the same results eventually or right away, because if AI changes or the way the algorithms are working for search, it's going to change. If you're not on top of it, you're going to fall behind again. So that's the only cautionary thing I would throw out there if you pull it back to yourself, which is still your prerogative.
It is. And a lot of content is still king, but quality content and real content is what everything is looking for
Correct.
as of the time of recording this. So by using the app to be able to record that information, send over the raw information, it really is a game changer for that business. A lot of times from a lot of members, we heard, I just want to submit over my information, just send it in. And I just want someone in the back end just to make it all come together. And that's what we created.
Right, exactly. And I think, and we've had some, like you said, we've had some great successes with this process.
And I'm sure as we go through and we start to build it up and scale, I'm sure we're going to run into some roadblocks. I'm sure we're going to run into some bumps along the way. So make sure that you give us all the feedback. And if you are doing the done for you plan, and if you're using any of our programs, you have to tell us if it's working or not working. I don't care if you're just on our basic $39 plan at the time of recording this, or if you're on the full done for you plan, you got to communicate with us and say, this is working, it's not working, as we rely on that information to know if what is happening is actually getting the results you're looking for, or else we'll keep doing it because we think you're getting results if we don't hear from you.
Right. And I think that's the biggest complaint I have with some of our members is they go, it's not working, but they never told us. And we go, well, let's make this adjustment. Oh, it's working again.
Right.
And there it goes.
I mean, if we're looking at just into our basic plan, even for that comes with the listings engine, we see that all the time. No, it didn't work. Well, you don't have a good description. You didn't do this. You don't have this in place. Make the following changes and let's see where you are in 30 to 45 days. And when they do that, then they start getting results and they're like, whoa, I didn't realize that. I thought I just needed to have one sentence in there. No, you can sit and grow this and you can ask us for the help, but you have to be willing to be able to put some effort into your business a little bit for any of our programs. If you are on the listings plan, you got to go through and fill out the listings engine. If you are on the done for you, you got to submit content if you want to see results. If you're not submitting that in, you're probably not going to see the results you're looking for, and your stuff's going to look like everybody else's.
Right. And the other thing too is we need to talk about, you're asking for help from our coaches. It's the same marketing coaches that are doing the done for yous that are doing the other stuff as well. Yeah. When you ask for review, you need to understand we have this wonderful team that's got all this knowledge and they're there to assist you. You just have to ask.
It's on demand. So it's not proactive as far as coming to you and saying, hey, you're not doing this. It is on the done for you. We'll be monitoring that a
Right.
lot closer. But if you're on one of our other plans, we're not monitoring that 100%. We assume it's working if we don't hear from you. And you have to be proactive and come in and say, hey, it's not working, or hey, how do I make this a little bit better? Or asking the questions. You have access to a full marketing coach, especially if you're on our middle package for the plan, not our basic one. You have full marketing coach. You can say, hey, what do you think I should do with this? What kind of marketing should I be doing? What do you think of this kind of advertising? We see this stuff every day. And I would say probably 70%, if I was to guess off the top of my head, of our members don't take advantage of that.
I would agree with that number dramatically. Yeah.
Which, I mean, you have access to a great team behind you. I'm a toot our own horn for that. You have access to it. You need to be able to make that happen, especially if you're on the done for you plan. Just submit your content. Tell us if it's working. Tell us if it's not. We have a bunch of updates that are going to be coming out. One of those updates will include our new look, our new systems that are coming out. It'll be released probably next month at some point if all the stars align correctly. But you're going to be able to also say, hey, this is what I'm seeing for results. This is what I'm doing. There's going to be some of those pieces that we're going to be starting adding in this fall. So I'm really looking forward to where we're headed. And I'm looking forward to seeing what search happens. Voice search is taking a huge change. Google now has AI mode. You see more people out of an assistant in their pocket more than just having search and going and having a search or something. They're having full conversations. And if you're not putting that information out there, you're going to be left behind. And that requires you doing blogging. That requires you doing social media. And as a business owner, I get it. If you don't have time to do those things, just get us the content, let us handle it. And that's what the done for you is all about.
Yep. Agreed. I agree with you 100%.
So if you have any questions whatsoever, let us know. But you can see the full done for you plan at simplybefound.com. Dean, is there anything else you want to ask or go over as far as the done for you?
No, I think that covers pretty much everything. We really need to have the questions come from members saying to help us to make sure we're heading in the right direction for each individual piece for each member. So.
Well, we depend on everybody's feedback. That's how we build it. We don't have a board. We don't have investors that are inside of our ears telling us what to do. We build systems based on your feedback and based on the data that we see. We have a full data science team. That's all they're doing is looking at the data points to figure out how we can make ourselves better and how we can help our members be able to get better results.
Right. Exactly.
I think that's a huge piece. And that's where we have a small team, but we have a powerful team. And I think that's really hard for a lot of the big corporations to understand. And what the difference is between us and those corporations is we are a small team, which means it's a very intimate environment to be able to get everything done. And we're keeping a lot closer tabs than, team on top of team and things get lost. We don't even, if you look at our done for you plans for our websites, you're communicating directly with our WordPress developers. I mean, if you go in, we use a tool called markup.io. And when you go inside of that tool, you're able to say, this is what I want changed on my website. This is what I want done. And it goes straight to our web developers. There's no middle people. There's no coach in between that. It's your feedback goes to them and it gets changed out. And it's all based on that demand that's inside of there.
Right. It seems like the more levels you build, the more communication issues you have, and it doesn't get communicated exactly. We've both been on that side of the fence when you have multiple levels, and by the time it gets to the person who does the work to back to the person who requested it, it's not exactly the same. And that always creates animosity, or somebody's not happy on one side or the other. Yeah, that's what you told me to do.
Well, you'll get a developer that doesn't understand the whole process, or they're thinking about it totally weird. That's when you come in and chat and you have a conversation with us and say, they're not getting it. This is what I mean. Can you go in and help them figure out what that is? Because let's face it, sometimes developers don't get it 100%. I'd say they get it 98% of the time, maybe 96% of the time. But I mean, there's certain times that it takes a little bit of a push to be able to get things done and to where what you want done to be translated into that piece.
Yeah, and that's why I always joke, and you always give me a hard time about developers need to be in a padded room sometimes, because
I've been guilty of that before. There's times you and I've argued about a ticket that came through, and had a complete discussion. We didn't agree, and both of us were wrong of what the person wanted.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. But that's why you have to have that conversation and the feedback. So
Right,
anyway,
but definitely, if you have any questions whatsoever, let us know, and we look forward to you checking it out. If everything's live, you can sign up on the website. If you're a current member of ours, just let us know. We can tell you how to be able to upgrade and walk you through that process if you want to change over to the done for you. And I guess the only other piece I would bring up inside of the done for you is if you already have a website that's on WordPress, we can move it over to our systems and we can put it inside of that blueprint to be able to make it work.
oh, yep, that's a good point, Rob, right there.
But thanks for watching. Have a great day. And we look forward to chatting with you on the website. Thanks.
Bye now.